Imagine this. You're deeply in love, feeling like you finally found the one, only to have your heart shattered into a million pieces by the ultimate betrayal, infidelity. That sickening pit in your stomach when the truth hits you, was it all a lie? Looking back, the signs were there all along, but you were too blinded by love to see them. The awkward phone silences, changed passwords, crazy little lies, they all added up to the brutal reality of betrayal. Whether you're in a brand new relationship or have been together for decades, it's time to open your eyes to the discreet signs of infidelity. Forewarned is forearmed in the dating world's dark underbelly. This video is about the 10 unexpected signs that your significant other may be drifting or check-outing of the relationship. Spotting them gives you a chance to course correct before real damage is done. 1. They get defensive over small things. When partners start developing feelings for someone else, guilt often causes them to snap at you over insignificant issues as a distraction. If your usually chill partner starts blowing up about you not taking out the trash or some other tiny slight, it may be their subconscious overcompensating. Feeling guilty makes people hypersensitive and inclined to accuse their partners of mistreatment to justify their own disloyalty. If you notice a sudden onslaught of over-the-top outbursts directed at you, it's a major red flag that something deeper is going on. Don't ignore repeated angry defensiveness. Have an honest conversation to get to the root of why they're acting so accusatory over petty issues. If it's truly about nothing, their behavior should revert. But defensiveness that persists points to secret guilt. 2. They're constantly at work and you can't reach them. In today's busy world, working long hours is the norm. But when they start routinely staying late without solid reasons or their phone is perpetually unreachable during those times, it's a huge red flag. They don't want you knowing their real whereabouts. The typical cheater's excuse is putting in extra FaceTime and hustle to get ahead at work or pick up extra shifts. But are they truly becoming a model employee overnight? Or is there something or someone else demanding their work attention? Pay close attention if their extended absences have more flimsy excuses than normal. Even at home, a cheating partner may be glued to their phones and jump to take calls in private. It's a hallmark sign of maintaining an additional relationship in secret. Their verbal excuses of just an important work call start wearing thin after a while. 3. They pick fights over nothing. Similar to getting defensive, picking constant fights over no understandable cause can signal inner turmoil. Subconsciously starting arguments provides a sense of justification for infidelity by making the faithful partner seem like the issue. If you find yourself walking on eggshells to avoid your partner's sour mood and sudden flare-ups over insignificant matters, it may be due to their guilty conscience. The unhappier partners become with themselves, the more nitpicky and argumentative they tend to get. Unless you've done something truly wrong, being on the receiving end of inexplicable anger points to their inner discontent. Don't ignore persistent bitterness. Have an open discussion about what's really bothering them before it destroys your intimacy. 4. They constantly bring up an ex. Referencing a past partner is one of the strangest signs of cheating. While it's healthy to openly discuss relationship history, dwelling on an ex may mean your partner is emotionally re-engaging with that person. In extreme cases, this even includes talking about intimate moments or inside jokes with the ex. It's disturbing disrespect to relive good times like that with a former lover while in a supposedly committed relationship. At minimum, it creates an emotional infidelity that can spiral into something physical. Don't ignore this subtle sign that your partner is getting hung up on the past. Have an honest discussion about what needs they aren't getting met, for them to idealize a previous romance so persistently. Nip that in the bud. 5. Their habits and hobbies take a 180. When romantic interests change, so do routines and daily habits. Someone who is actively courting a new partner will suddenly develop different interests, schedules, and ways of spending their time to accommodate this new relationship energy. For example, if your perpetually casual and low-maintenance partner randomly gets super into an expensive hobby like golf or fancy wines, they may be pursuing that to spend time, connect with someone new. Those hobbies give them a socially acceptable excuse to be away from you more. Similarly, noticing they are spending considerably more time working out, dressing up, or watching different shows than normal out of the blue is another red flag. Be wary of any jarring shifts that make their daily routines harder to keep track of. It signals a disruption. 6. Unexplained cash, withdrawals, purchases. Money is almost always a factor when infidelity is brewing. Things like expensive grooming habits, hotel rooms, dinners, Ubers to meet up, it all costs money. So if you notice odd cash withdrawals or purchases on statements your partner won't satisfactorily explain, there may be more to it than meets the eye. In today's digital world, it's easy for evidence of costs related to an affair to slip through via Venmo, Cash App, or other payment platforms. Keep an eye on where money seems to be disappearing to with no good reason given. Secret spending indicates deliberate steps to keep part of their life private from you, a huge breach of trust. If the costs are significant, there's cause to get to the bottom of who or what it's being spent on. 7. Their social life becomes mysterious. When partners start making concrete moves toward cheating, they commonly begin laying a foundation of secrecy around events, locations, and time spent away. Disappearing for hours or having constant work obligations come up without any transparency is a huge red flag. Healthy couples don't hide their schedules and whereabouts from one another. It's understood each person needs some independence, but large swaths of unaccounted for time indicates deliberate deception is occurring. If your partner can't give you a reasonable account of their day or details about where they were and who with, it's a problem. Lack of transparency creates the space for unfaithful behavior to occur unchecked. This allows emotional separation to widen into physical separation. Don't overlook this sign. 8. They become hypercritical of you. A person seeking to alleviate guilt and justify their own questionable actions will often try to tear down their committed partner. If your significant other nitpicks your personality, appearance, career, lifestyle, or anything else to an extreme degree, it may not just be garden variety insecurity causing it. Constant harsh judgments are a way for cheaters to make themselves feel better about their own instability. It creates a false narrative that you aren't good enough, so they had a reason to betray the relationship. Stand up to this manipulative, hurtful behavior. Nobody is perfect, but being relentlessly criticized and put down is unacceptable from someone claiming to love you. Check this toxic mindset before it allows more injustice. 9. Their sexual interest falls. For most couples, a dramatic drop in sexual intimacy is one of the most obvious and heartbreaking signs that one partner is looking elsewhere to get their needs met. It signals a deep emotional and physical disconnection has taken place. Don't ignore a complete bedroom freeze-out, unless there's an understandable reason like illness, depression, medication, affecting their drive, etc. A sudden lack of any affection whatsoever means the closeness has been utterly severed. It's worth having an honest check-in conversation about what's causing the sexual drought, as it's one of the most glaring signs that infidelity is occurring or about to. However, be prepared that they may not open up about betrayal. 10. Their story never quite adds up. Cheaters aren't always excellent liars. After all, keeping a complex web of deception intact requires incredible attention to detail and memory. More often than not, unfaithful partners slip up in small ways that reveal inconsistencies in their stories and timelines. For example, they may claim to have worked late, but you see their computer was off all evening. Or they say they had to travel out of town, but you find fresh mileage only around town on their car. These little mistakes add up to caught falsehoods that cast doubt over everything. Pay close attention when their excuses and alibis don't make logical sense or line up with other evidence. Things like finding opposite hair colors on their clothes or getting calls from unfamiliar numbers are obvious giveaways too. Trust your instincts. If things don't corroborate, there's likely more to the story. Don't immediately accuse, but definitely investigate further. Chronic liars cover one lie with another lie. If you catch them fibbing repeatedly about their dealings, they are probably hiding involvement with someone else. By staying alert to these 10 unexpected red flags, you give yourself a fighting chance at catching disloyalty before it goes too far. From sudden personality shifts to sketchy alone time, most steps toward cheating create small signs that reveal a bigger pattern of detachment. The sooner you get wise to any distancing or deceptions, the sooner you can confront it directly through open communication. Nobody wants to seem paranoid or accuse without cause, which is why these subtle hints are so insidious. But your gut instinct is also extremely powerful. If you feel something is off in your relationship dynamic, there's likely a valid reason. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.